The sea is calming for Stephen Carey. Here, the crashing waves help him forget about how he's faced violence and death several times. As a child, as a young Marine, and even as recently as 5 months ago, just a few blocks away, one terrible day in Santa Monica.
Unknown number of people, as you know.
It was the day a driver sped through the farmer's market and killed 10 people.
She was lying on the ground, really bad head injury and bleeding out.
He remembers how he tried to use skills he learned in the Marines to help the injured, and how one woman died in his arms.
Brought back a flood of emotions, and I broke down.
Stephen was flooded with painful memories he had kept bottled up inside, some going back to his childhood.
He was violent and abusive.
An alcoholic father burned down their house and once dangled him over a bridge. Stephen also faced death as a tank commander on one of the first units to cross the Kuwaiti border during Desert Storm. The overwhelming memories triggered by the farmer's market incident forced him to get help. Stephen came to the Amen Clinic for a brain scan. Dr. Amen says Stephen's brain shows all the signs of post-traumatic stress disorder.
We need to get rid of all those triggers.
The treatment Dr. Amen prescribes is EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. This is Stephen's first session with therapist Sarah Gilman.
It's very hard to distance yourself enough to go, wow, I'm going through postpartum depression. You just think, oh my God, I feel so awful, I look so awful. And the more you have the thoughts, the worse you feel about yourself, the more immobilized you become. So I didn't reach out to Harry, I didn't reach out to anybody. And that was really the biggest issue for me. And it lasted for 15 months because of it.
Actress Lisa Rinna has 2 beautiful daughters with actor Harry Hamlin. But when her first baby, Delilah, was born, Lisa became so depressed that she contemplated suicide.
It's so hard to talk about getting to that point because life is so precious.
Who doesn't love to soak up the sun? A tanned body has become a symbol of beauty and glamour. But one day at the beach could be the first day of skin damage that will last the rest of your life. But don't tell that to Patty Kirby. Patty spends a lot of time outdoors playing tennis, and she's an unabashed sun worshiper.
We used to use baby oil and iodine, and we'd smear it all over, lay out in the sun, and bake.
Melissa Bear is just in her mid-20s, but even with a generation between them, she, like Patty, sees a good tan as a thing of beauty.
Having a tan makes me feel like I look better. In turn, that makes me feel better about myself.
And does any of this sound familiar to you?
Now that I actually am going to be a grandmother, I don't want to look like a grandmother.
I don't want to be wrinkled and pruned when I'm 50 years old.
Do I have wrinkles?
They will get skin cancers.
Dr. Harold Lancer knows full well the dangers of the sun. The clinical dermatologist sees hundreds of women in a way you and I can't.
This is the unfiltered picture. Then the reflected one, shows the darkening, which is sun damage.
Whoa.